Hey, welcome. Today we're doing something a little different. We're not just going to talk about software testing, we're going to tell a story. We are going to follow the complete journey of a single bug, from the second it's created to the day it's finally squashed. And this story, well, it doesn't start with a line of code, it starts with a pizza. So let's bring this down to earth with something we've all felt. You've had a long day, you're starving, and you order a pizza with extra gooey, melted cheese. You can practically taste it. The doorbell rings, you open the box, and there's no cheese at all. That feeling, that huge, frustrating gap between what you expected and what you actually got, well, in the software world, that is exactly what a defect is. It's a simple and, yeah, often infuriating mismatch. But here's the thing. In software development, the specific words we use really matter. A bug isn't just a bug. It's actually part of a chain reaction. And understanding each link in that chain, from a tiny little mistake to a massive system failure, is absolutely key. It all kicks off with an error. This is just a simple human mistake, a typo a developer makes while they're coding. At this point, it's their secret. Nobody else knows it's there. But then, a tester comes along, hunts it down, and finds it. The moment they find it, it gets a new name, a defect. The problem has been caught before it escaped into the wild. And you have to understand this next part, because it's so important. As long as that problem is just a defect, it's an internal issue, right? The team knows about it. But if it isn't caught and that software gets released, that defect then causes a failure. That's the moment you open the pizza box and see no cheese. The problem has officially reached the user. So here it is, the whole sequence laid out nice and simple. A developer makes an error, a tester finds a defect, and if that defect slips through the cracks, a user experiences a failure. The whole point of a great testing process is to break this chain right in the middle, at the defect stage, before a customer ever feels that pain. Okay, so a tester finds a bug. What happens next? It doesn't just get fixed whenever someone feels like it. No way. It enters a formal, organized process, a journey with very clear steps and statuses. We call this the Defect Life Cycle. So yeah, what really happens to that bug once it's been spotted? Let's actually follow on its journey and see for ourselves. And our bug story begins right now. A tester finds a huge issue. Users can't log in, even with the right password. Ouch. They immediately log it in the system, and its status becomes new. Our little bug is officially born. A project manager sees this, immediately understands how bad it is, and assigns it to the right developer to fix. It's no longer just an observation, it's someone's job. Now, the developer gets the ticket. The second they start actively digging into the code to find a solution, the bug's status changes to open. After some analysis, some coding, and a bit of coffee, they make the changes and mark the bug as fixed. And as far as they're concerned, job done. But hold on, it's not over yet. A developer saying it's fixed is one thing, but we need proof. The bug goes right back to the original tester. This is the retested phase. This is the moment of truth. They go to the login page, enter the details, and click, "Does it work?" Yes, success. The fix is confirmed, and only then, with that independent verification, can the bug be marked as closed. Its long journey is finally over. But what if it doesn't work? What if the tester tries to log in and, nope, still broken? Well, then the journey's not over. The bug gets a new status, reopened, and it's sent right back to the developer, starting that whole work and fix cycle all over again, until it's actually, truly 100% fixed. Now, in any real project, there could be hundreds of bugs in the system. You obviously can't fix everything at once. So how do teams decide what to work on first? They use two magic words: severity and priority. And trust me, understanding the difference between them is everything. First up is severity. Think of this as purely a technical measurement. It answers one question: how badly does this bug break the software? A critical severity bug is like a total system crash, a technical catastrophe. A minor one might just be a small typo on a help page. It's all about the technical impact on the system. And then we have priority. This has nothing to do with technology. This is all about business. The question here is, how urgently do we need to fix this for the business to succeed? A high-priority bug might be stopping every single customer from buying something. That's a business emergency. A low-priority bug might be in a feature that almost no one ever uses. It's all about the business impact. Okay, and here is where it gets really interesting because severity and priority do not always go hand in hand. Look at the top left. The login not working, that's high severity, the system is broken, and high priority. The business is stopped. Easy. But now look at the others. A rare crash that only happens on an admin page that only developers see, that's technically high severity, a bad crash, but it's low priority to fix because no customers are affected. Now the best one, a spelling mistake on the homepage. Technically, that's low severity. It breaks absolutely nothing, but it's high priority because it makes the company look unprofessional to every single person who visits the site. See the difference?
So, for a bug to even start its journey and get a severity and priority rating, it needs a good passport. And that passport is the bug report. A bad, lazy report can cause a bug to get lost or ignored for weeks. But a great one is a first-class ticket to getting fixed and fast.
So what's in this perfect passport? Well, first, a clear, specific title, no vague stuff. Next, and this is the most critical part, precise, numbered steps that let the developer reproduce the bug every single time. If they can't make it happen, they can't fix it. Simple as that. You also have to clearly state what should have happened versus what did happen. And finally, always include evidence, like a screenshot or a video. And here it is. This is the actual passport for our login bug. Just look how clean this is. The defect ID gives it a unique tracking number. The title, Login Fails with Valid Credentials, is perfectly clear. Severity and priority are set, but look at those steps and the expected versus actual results. There is zero confusion. A developer who gets this report knows exactly what the problem is, why it matters, and how to see it for themselves without having to ask a single question. So armed with that perfect bug report, our bug was quickly assigned, expertly fixed, and successfully retested. It's gone through the entire life cycle, and it has now reached the final stop on its journey. And that final status is closed. The defect has been eliminated. The potential failure has been prevented. The system is working just like it's supposed to. A totally successful end to one bug's very important journey. So there you have it. You now know the life of a bug from start to finish. You know the process. But let me leave you with this one question to think about. Knowing the process is one thing, but what is it that really separates a good tester from a truly great one? What is that skill that lets them find the most critical bugs before anyone else? Well, that's where the science of testing ends and the art begins.